Most Tuesdays, I go over to a donut shop and I buy donuts for the next morning for men's prayer group. And I've gotten to know one of the employees there. I'm usually there at a time when there's not many other people there. So we've built a pretty good rapport. He's a young guy in his early 20s, going to school, navigating through life, and really trying to establish his own values and what he thinks is important. And as we're talking about life and stuff, we get a chance to have some meaning of life interactions. And yesterday was a really significant one. We're talking about the really exciting times in life or the really down times in life, and how it's seems like even when stuff's great or even when stuff's down, it's better than when it's just kind of boring in the middle. And I tried to encourage him. I said, a lot of life, probably 95% of the life we live is in that middle point. It's in that nothing new is happening. It can be even in those boring times. And I've found that for me, I need to learn how to embrace being content in those. Not that I love that and I want to just live in that moment my whole life, but I want to be able to not have to try to create excitement or to try and pursue some sort of high so that I can feel better. I can be okay where I'm at even if I'm not feeling great, even when it's just humdrum, even when it's boring. And he made a comment, well, that sounds good, but I kind of hope that, overall, at least if I'm having to go through those kind of times, that I'm wealthy or that I'm richer than poorer, because it seems like people who are rich are happier. And I got to talk to him a little. It's like I had this alarm go off inside, and it's like, hey, let me talk to you about the hedonic treadmill. And what that is, it describes the experience that we have when we have something happen that increases our happiness. And I relayed to him the story of the lottery winners who, they win the lottery and they have more money than they could ever know what to do with, and their happiness goes through the roof. And then, a short time later, within 6 months or so, they get surveyed by this group, checking out, how long did this happiness last? And they found that their happiness had equalized. And even though they still had all their money, that they had begun to kind of come down to the same level or below happiness, what they were before, because it kind of re-centralized, it kind of equalized in a spot where it was like, that which had made them happy before, the riches and the excitement and all that, it had kind of dissipated, and now they're just in the humdrum. And it was a little bit more despairing because they had everything they could ever want, and they were still experiencing the same boredom and frustrations and normal life that plagues everyone else. And I encouraged him. I said, hey, in these type of situations, what that tells me is that the goal is not money, and the goal is not possessions, and the goal is not to have this job or that job or be able to travel or do this. The goal is to have a purpose. If we have a purpose in our life, if we're living for something that doesn't matter whatever our job title is or how much money we're making or where we're going or what we're doing, if we're living for a purpose like to bring glory to God or to that, because that's mine. If we're doing that, or it's something that is something greater than ourselves, we can endure any suffering we need to, and we can navigate any challenges we need to, because it gives us something to live for that gives us meaning beyond ourselves and beyond the things that can be taken or stolen or lost or burned up or eaten by moths. And it was a point of real aha for him, and it was a great point for me too, to be able to encourage someone a few years behind me, probably 30 years behind me in age, and just say, hey, consider this. Look for the purpose that God has built into your life, and look for that instead of trying to chase after something that is gonna fade away anyway. So hopefully there's something in there that encourages you. May we live for the purpose of bringing glory to God in everything that we do. May we find satisfaction in that. Talk to you soon.